Hi, and welcome to this express session. It's a pranayama practice, and it's designed to put us in touch with the breath so we can use it for what we need. This has been a difficult period of time these past several weeks. There's a lot of change, a lot of turmoil, a lot of feelings that are bubbling to the surface, a lot of rage, a lot of frustration over social injustice. And I want to offer something that we can use to soothe ourselves, to take care of ourselves, and to rebalance our energy so we can do what's right, to take the right actions to promote peace and justice. Let's find a seat. Find any way that's comfortable for you to sit. And as you sit, remind yourself where your spine is long and tall. Drop your shoulders over your hips, drop your elbows right over your hips, and let your hands rest in your lap without drawing you out of that alignment. Cast your eyes forward and down. Focus your eyes in a soft way and start to notice the breath. Often we notice the breath in the ends of the breath, in the rings of the nostrils, or in the movement of the body under the influence of the diaphragm moving. Meet your breath where it is most specifically in you right now. And notice the state of things around the breath, the physical state of your body. Maybe the energetic state of how you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling keyed up, nervous, anxious, or maybe you're feeling dull, unfocused. Any way that you do feel is fine. It's just a snapshot of what is right now. Find places that are resistant to the process of breathing, the feeling of the body moving under the influence of the diaphragmatic muscle. Breath is like a flashlight. So as you're breathing and deepening your breath, you might start noticing the breath is accessing places where you're holding on to tenderness and fear and tension and frustration. And it can kind of feel like you're tapping it, touching it, maybe picking at it a little bit with the breath, but it's okay. It's really an invitation to be part of what we're doing right now. Sometimes we're holding on to emotions that we really don't want to let loose because we don't know the depth. We don't like to lose that kind of control, to let go of something that we've been holding on to and holding down. But with a compassionate heart, just allow yourself to feel what you're touching there. Issue the invitation and don't demand that it be part of the experience. But don't negate it. Acknowledge it. If you feel your posture slipping, remind yourself. Go back to it and be in posture and in breath. Feel the soothing quality of the breath meeting those tender places, those tight places, those places that are armored against fear and rage and frustration, sadness. Now that we've acquainted ourselves with the breath, let's bring it in to a more specific place in the back of the throat. Instead of experiencing the breath right at the threshold of the nostrils, bring the breath into the throat. Feel the breath moving in and out of the throat. Notice the breath deepening with that. And let the body go with that. Notice the qualities of that, the sound, the silent. It's not quite silent, it's a personal sound. It should be broadcast out where everybody in the vicinity can hear you. But something that you feel and hear, a texture, a small sound, a subtle sound. And it should be a sound that's soothing and not something rakish, not something irritating like a saw, a rough saw on wood, but more like a hand rubbing your back. And as you experience this deeper breath, start to notice the rise of the inhale and the fall of the exhale. Letting the breath rise up as high as it wants to, as it is comfortable to do, and to let it fall down to a place where it's comfortable to let it go completely. And in the awareness of that, you might also notice that turn of the breath at the top where it turns into the exhale, and at the bottom where it has to turn into the inhale because your body says we must. As we start to notice that turn, it turns into a space with its own length. You'll notice the rhythm, the cadence of the breath that's comfortable in you. Each breath is unique, but you start noticing the similarity in length and space. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, gaze downward, soft focus. I'm just going to lead us through a little bit of lead pranayama practice. When I say in, we'll inhale. And at the top of the breath, we'll experience that turn and that pause. And when I say out, we'll begin the descent into the bottom of the breath. Hashtag real life yoga. In. Out. 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 In. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Stay in the breath. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Continue with your own pace. I'm just going to keep breathing. You keep breathing in the capacity for your lungs without rushing, without forcing, without hustling. Keep going. Total awareness on your breath and your body. Staying connected to the characteristics of your breath, the temperature, the texture, the sound, the presence. Whatever your breath is touching, pay attention to that as well. Without judging, but just seeing, acknowledging. Breathing through whatever is going on around you. We can't control that. We can only take care of ourselves. Feel how the breath is soothing whatever has been jolted or irritated. Release yourself from the depth of the breath and let your breath come back into its natural place. Notice your posture, notice your breath, and notice how you feel. Notice life going on around you. Yoga at home. And maybe your natural breath has given you a little more space and a little more room to be with whatever you're feeling, physically, energetically, emotionally, or mentally. Thank you for coming into the virtual yoga room today. I hope this helps, and I hope you do this often. This is a small enough practice that you can fit into your day just about anywhere. Remember it and practice it when you're away from the virtual yoga room. Take care, be well. Namaste.